Okay, well, welcome back to the quarantine classroom. Here we are, lesson number 2. This is an introduction. We're going to talk about natural selection, but first we're going to just do a quick review of mutation. So we know that mutation causes traits to change. How does that happen? Mutations cause DNA to change. So when DNA replicates, mutations can occur. They don't always occur. In fact, they don't occur very often. But when they do, it changes the order of the nucleotides. It changes the directions of the DNA, right? The directions of the DNA tell us what proteins to make within our cells, okay? So the DNA sends that information, that order of nucleotides, to the ribosome. The ribosome decodes it and makes a protein. Well, if that code is changed through DNA replication, then the protein will change also. Okay? So we can change proteins for different traits. Or our genes can change because the proteins that they produce are changed because of the order of nucleotides. That's what we learned last lesson, right? Mutations cause traits to change. Now, there's only one time that we can actually pass those traits on to our next generation, and that is this. Only mutation of reproductive cells, sperm and eggs, are passed from parent to offspring and all the successive generations, right? So if a rabbit has a mutation occur within itself during its life, and it does not happen within those reproductive cells, then the mutation will not be passed on to the next generation. But if a mutation occurs to the reproductive cells, so a rabbit that is black, let's say black rabbit, has a mutation occur within its reproductive cells, a change to the DNA, and the DNA now says that the fur is going to be white, that mutation will go to the next generation, right? And all of the kids of the white rabbit will also have genes for white hair and can be passed on from generation to generation. If it does not happen within the reproductive cell, it does not pass on from generation to generation. So, what is natural selection? Natural selection is basically that if a trait is mutated and passed on to a new generation, then if that trait is beneficial or good and helpful to that new organism, then that trait will continue to be passed on from generation to generation because that new organism is going to be successful. So let's take the example of the black rabbit. If the black rabbit happens to be living in a very snowy area, that black rabbit is going to be easily seen by its predators. But if it mutates and has white, or if its DNA mutates, within a reproductive cell, and its offsprings come out white, those white rabbits are not going to be seen by the predators on the white snow, and it's going to be helpful, right? They will not be seen and they'll be able to reproduce more. Natural selection basically says that those with the most beneficial traits are going to survive more easily, and they will be able to reproduce more, and then the successive generations are going to have the traits of a more successful organism. Let's take the, in our books and in our lesson, we're going to look at the bumblebee orchid, okay? That looks like a bee. That happened over time. As the orchid reproduced, those that looked more and more like a bee were able to reproduce more, and over time it eventually looks like a bee sitting on an orchid rather than the orchid itself. Another example would be a stick bug or a leaf bug, or there's definitely different animals that look like their surroundings. Owls blend in very well with trees, so that can help them hunt, right? So they're not seen by their prey. All those different variations are what natural selection is all about. So here's our big idea. big idea. All right? Variations, which are the different variety of traits that occur through sexual reproduction, variations occur naturally within a population. We know what a population is, right? A group of organisms. These variations occur naturally because the mutations are occurring naturally. And the variations occur naturally within a population and are passed from one generation to the next through reproduction. This is our big idea. This is what natural selection basically is all about, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to watch some videos, we're going to do some reading, we're going to really delve into natural selection, get some vocabulary under our belts so we know why mutations cause natural selection and what natural selection is. Okay? So another exciting topic, really kind of some fun stuff. I know you guys are going to get this. As you know, I'm available, so if you have any questions, you can email me and whatnot, but today I'm going to be posting an assignment for you guys to read and watch some videos and then do some vocabulary, okay? That'll be due on, let's say, Friday, and I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully you're doing well.